It's the same message I've heard every forester and logger and rancher preach for the 43 years that I've been in the woods. All of my career, I've had people ask me, why can't we get more done? What's the problem? Is it Congress? The Forest Service? Is it lack of funding? What is the problem? Our government and our agencies do sometimes get in the way. The timber industry has made some mistakes along the way. But as a whole, these folks, Congress, agencies, industry, are not the underlying problem. The problem rests squarely on the shoulders of a relentless, well-funded, insidious group of extreme environmental organizations that will not stop until our tax dollars quit funding their lawsuits and our judges quit being hoodwinked by their agenda-driven science. Now, if you think I just went over the top with my description on the problem, I'm going to give you two examples and then we'll move on. Earth Island Institute, Greenpeace, the Sequoia Forest Keepers, and a fellow named Chad Hansen have just filed suit to stop the cleanup of the rimfire burn that has been funded by our government through the HUD grant, the Housing and Urban Development Grant. These folks don't know us, they don't live here, and they didn't experience the rimfire. And yet they have the gall to try and stop the work that will restore the rim watershed.
Oh, sorry.
Today you're going to hear some very positive ideas from our Stanislaus National Forest Supervisor, Jason Tigan, about doing more work more quickly in our backyard. These same environmental groups are already joining forces to litigate that effort before it's even been introduced. Thankfully, our local timber industry, our local environmental and recreation groups, our business community, and the Forest Service, and our county government have banded together to push back hard against these environmental extremists. We joined forces in 2010 as a collaborative group known as Yosemite Stanislaus Solutions, or YSS. YSS has just written a letter to our regional forester, Randy Moore, stating our opposition to any litigation or any injunction that would slow the restoration of the rim watershed. TwoCare is a very active member of the YSS Collaborative. On its own, TwoCare remains a driving force for protection of our environment and wise use of our natural resources. With your continued support, we'll fight on. So now let's hear from some folks that really do live and care for our backyard. Up first is a man who needs no introduction, as he's blessed many of these summits and our annual dinners with his passionate and accurate descriptions of the problems we face, and along with common sense solutions to fix those problems. We live in the 4th Congressional District of California, which stretches from Lake Tahoe through Yosemite Valley and on into Kings Canyon. And the fellow that leads that whole thing in our Congress is, of course, our Congressman McClintock. I'll just give you a couple things from his bio and then we'll get him up here. Tom's often described as the gold standard for fiscal conservatism in Congress. Citizens Against Government Waste recently named him as only one of 2 perfect votes in the House for fighting wasteful government spending. So out of all those Congress folks, he and somebody else got the only perfect votes. He's a senior member of the House Natural Resource Committee, where he serves on the subcommittee on national parks, forests, and public lands, which he chaired from 2015 to 2018. Prior to his election to Congress, Tom served 22 years in the California legislature, where he became one of the most recognized conservative leaders. Tom ran as the conservative standard bearer for governor in California historic recall election in 2003. And I wish we had that one to do over,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I bet he'd be there. Tom and his wife Lori have been married in 1987 and have 2 children. Let's give a great round of applause and welcome to our Congressman Tom McClintock.
Thank you for that, and Mike, thank you for all of the work that you have done in making Due Care the respected voice that it is. Rocky and I were just reflecting on the enormous amount of time that you put into this, your time, your resources, your heart, and your soul, and how much appreciated it is by all of us on whose behalf you've been working. So thank you. And I want to thank all of you for inviting me back here today. I'm not used to being invited back more than once at one of these events, so